Hey everyone, quick video from me again. My name is Brian Hickey, and if you recall from my previous video, I was headed to beautiful Cabo, Mexico. Not a vacation for me, Cabo is where I work. Well, today I'm back in the Bay Area, and I wanted to take a break from my previous topic of fractional real estate and dive into the world of health and wellness. Just last week, my wife and I had the honor to attend the Don't Die conference. Now, it's a conference held by Bryan Johnson, who's leading the path of health and wellness. So much so, he has slowed down the rate in which he ages. Now, I'm going to go more into that later, but let's talk about who Bryan Johnson is for those that might not know. First, Bryan Johnson is an absolute beast. He founded Braintree Venmo software, sold it for $800 million, and then focused all of his attention on health and wellness. He hired 30 doctors, spent $2 million, and did his own research for 3 years. So much he transformed his life that he reversed his age and even backs his approach with data and shares his journey on social media. During Bryan's journey, people began asking, hey, how can we adopt this approach and adopt these healthy habits? And he's frequently launching new products and new tips where you can follow along. Now, today, my wife and our 2 boys, we follow these tips and these habits as much as we possibly can with his recommendations. And I'll show some of these products so you guys can see what we're using. Vitamins, oils, food, and things of that nature. My business partner, Derek, even shares these ideas with his wife and his children. So let's talk about the Don't Die conference. Located in San Francisco at Pier 35. I think it was their first conference, and it was great, and there were naturally a few rough spots along the way. My wife and I, we had a chance to buy some of the face creams, we ran our own DNA test, and we had our age testing as well. And I'm going to show those results later. But what was not expected are the ideas of Bryan's wellness and health practices and how they were conveyed during the conference. Now, during the opening ceremonies, there's a great talk about having algorithms or AIs and protocols to follow and how these take a new ethical system and framework to living healthy. Now, at this point, my wife is looking at me confused. I'm looking at the audience and they're kind of confused. And there was a mic that was being passed around and people had a chance to talk. But I think what ended up happening is it didn't really add a lot of value to those that might be new or add value to those that are experienced in reinstating those ideas. So what is Bryan Johnson trying to say? Here's my take on it, and I had to explain it to my wife because she was completely lost. And by the way, before I even get started, I want to let you know I'm a part-time philosopher geek. And anytime we have a problem at our house, I'm usually the one untangling all the mental knots. So this is what I explained to my wife as it relates to the ideas of Bryan Johnson and the Blueprint Protocol. So let's get into it. For those who might not know, there are 5 branches of philosophy. Today, I'm just going to talk about 3. The first branch of philosophy is metaphysics. And it's just a fancy name on how we view reality. For example, some people believe reality is real, it exists, while others think reality does not exist or it's an illusion. This is the essence of metaphysics. Now, I'd venture to say Bryan Johnson is saying reality exists. For example, because reality exists, that means we can control the outcome of our own lives. Pretty cool, right? Okay, stay with me. The second branch of philosophy is epistemology, which is just a fancy name for how do we know things. For example, some people think we learn through reason and empirical evidence, while others rely on faith, which does not require evidence. Now, Bryan prefers data, which means he uses reason to improve his quality of life in a world that is real. You following me? Okay, let's keep going. The third branch of philosophy is ethics. And this is the study of what ideas guide our life decisions. That is, what is right and what is wrong. This is for the small decisions in your lives and also the big decisions in your life. Some people use the virtue of selfishness, and others might use self-sacrifice as an idea. But let's put aside those ideas and not focus on the ideas that guide our lives, but I want us to focus on the process in which we make decisions. Now, in the context of Bryan Johnson, health, diet, sleep, and exercise are daily ethical choices. So Bryan is asking, should we let our feelings and impulses guide these choices? Or should we let data drive our actions, regardless of how we feel? So let me give you an example. We might crave beer or pizza or ice cream, but can you choose to drink water and eat fruit instead, controlling your urges? Simply put, can we act based on data and reason first? Or do we follow our whims first, act on impulse, and regret it later? To achieve this mindset, Bryan suggests that algorithms, protocols, AI can outline the best choices for us. Can we relinquish our urges and let data-driven protocols guide our daily habits around eating, sleeping, and exercise? Just like engineers use data to build bridges, why not use it to build a better mind and better body? The alternative is acting on whims and feelings, which provide no benefit over a long period of time. So that's my estimation and the true essence of the Don't Die conference, yet was not conveyed in any of the conference material. And for me, I think that was a real shame because it's an interesting and original approach. Is it the right approach? Well, that is for each individual to decide, as a proper ethical framework is based on your own hierarchy of values. And for my values and thinking about the well-being of my wife and our two boys, I think it's a pretty cool idea and something to consider. So I hope this helps. If you're curious to learn more about the other two branches of philosophy, just let me know in your comments below. And also, I do want to give a special thanks to Bryan Johnson and his son, who I had the pleasure to meet. They are very busy people running these conferences, running a business, and traveling, and they still follow the Blueprint protocol. It's not easy. So for them to take time out of their busy day, their busy schedules, to say hello and ask my wife, how are we both doing? Both of them are true gentlemen. And for that, I say thank you, Bryan and Talmage. You are appreciated. And as always, it's been an absolute pleasure to make these videos for you. And until next time, bye-bye.